Hey guys, welcome back to the Red Circle Podcast with your hosts Vanessa and Ed.
Hello.
Hi.
Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Not
Yes,
noches yet.
not yet.
So today I have a list of things. So we're
Ooh.
we're gonna try and get professional.
I love it.
I think what will help us as well is I'm gonna eventually get like the TV that's sitting here
Yeah,
on the
up here.
wall.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, so this is the next
Oh,
article
I
that we'll
love
go
it.
through, and then this next article, and then we'll do actual articles
I like that.
in the news.
Yeah.
And then we'll be professional. And I'm
Yay.
going to get glasses.
Oh, glorious.
Not because I need them, just because I'll
Because
look
you look extra
more
official.
actual or smart.
Your kids have been wearing
Fake
glasses
glasses with
with
no
no
lens.
lenses, and they look so cute.
I don't know where they got that from. Abigail, she does it.
When I
Abigail is like a modern day Punky Brewster.
She's the best. She's so funny. She's so sweet.
And she, that's the one thing I like my girls to be is more comfortable in their own skin.
Mhm.
Like even Jared,
Mhm.
like you, like I love Jared to death. He's so comfortable in his own skin. And that's what you want from your kid. You want them to know who they are,
Yes.
be comfortable with it. The
Yeah.
one I'm working on is Addie.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm working on.
She's so sweet too. She's always
Yeah.
trying to fix things. Like, what happened? Oh, the kids were painting. I brought these little like porcelain like things to paint for the garden. And Aria broke hers. And so I was like, oh, I'll just buy you a new one. And I threw the pieces away. And your Addie was like, I just really want to fix it. Is that okay? And she pulled out the glue and she fixed it. And then not just fixed it, but then glued all the way over it to make sure it would stay. She was like, is that okay? I'm like, yeah, thank you. You're so sweet.
Yeah, it's funny when you have your kids to see how you can mold your kids into who they are and make them, you know, fine with who they are.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go down a weird rabbit trail. I
Okay.
really do wish we had the TV today,
Okay.
but there is. You've heard of AI, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you've heard of AI artwork,
Yes.
and you've heard that you can prompt AI to draw you artwork.
Anything. Yeah.
Okay,
You can prompt with words, like draw this, or you can prompt with photos.
yes,
You'll upload photos and then it'll make its version of that.
yes.
Okay.
So, there's this guy on Twitter. I forget his name. Something with the S. Star or something. Superstar.
Ooh,
Super
superstar.
duper star. Um, and he started with a prompting saying, um, and what he was exploring. He's an artist, and he was exploring the negative results of things. So he says, he told the AI to draw me the opposite of Marlon Brando.
Oh,
Have you heard about this?
no.
Okay. So
That's a cool idea, though. Yeah.
okay, so the AI drew this picture, the opposite of Marlon Brando, and it was like a castle with random word in there that didn't make any sense.
Hmm.
It was just this picture. And then he says, okay, um, draw me the opposite of what they just drew, right? And he put the logo of this. And then this picture came out of this girl and her, which in AI lore became LOAB.
Oh,
LOAB.
okay.
LOAB. So it's like LOAB.
Okay.
And it was like this really creepy old hag.
Okay.
So let me see if I can pull one
Yeah,
up.
I want
Just
to
so,
see
you
this.
pull it up on your phone
Okay,
while
okay, okay.
I keep going. So just put up the picture of Loeb. So then he mixes. Then he mixes a picture that his friend drew, right? Well, had AI draw, and it was a picture of heaven.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's LOAB.
Oh gosh.
Super creepy. She's super creepy, right?
Is she holding a chicken?
Yeah. So let me finish the.
Oh Jesus.
Let me finish
I
the.
have chills. Like that looks creepy.
She's super creepy. This is a little creepy rabbit trail,
Okay.
and we're gonna go all over the place today.
Oh God.
So
Okay. Oh no.
yeah. So the guy, he uploads and he does what you said. Rather than prompting, he uploads the picture of LOAB with this other picture of heaven together, and he says, "Make me a picture." And he and then the AI came out with the most gruesome, disgusting pictures ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the theory is, hence the TV show, hence our show, theories,
Uh-huh.
right? The theory is that the AI, and the guy that won't reveal which AI he's using,
Okay.
but the theory is that the AI is somewhat demonic and it didn't like,
Heaven.
yes, and so it started showing like bad things that you can't even like talk about.
And getting those images in your mind, like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of time you can't
Mm-hmm.
unsee things.
Mm-hmm. So the
Like dismemberment, like that kind of stuff.
yeah, like torture, like sexual things, like all kinds of weird stuff with kids.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, and
I
then
was gonna
this.
look it up, but I don't want to look it up.
Yeah, don't look it up.
I'm not gonna look it up.
I didn't even look it up. I just watched a couple videos on it. Pretty interesting.
Ugh.
And and it's funny. Then he started doing pictures
Mm-hmm.
where he would put these pictures together. So like the one picture that he had with her,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he put the one with heaven, and then it made this, and then he would put that picture with another picture, and he's like, this LOAB character
Is evil.
is like would go like 8 or 9 degrees in all of these mirroring of pictures, where any other person gets like with one or two is out of
Is
the
out of it.
AI.
Yeah.
But this one just, it sustains longer than all the rest of them. So this guy's like doing it like systematically, almost
Yeah.
scientifically, to see how the AI responds to these things.
I wonder if and it's the same AI.
The same AI that he's using.
I wonder if it liked, not that it can like, but I wonder if it liked its own picture
Mm-hmm.
of LOAB
Mm-hmm.
and continues to use it. Because I've seen that where people will put a picture of themselves and AI will turn it into a desk.
Mm.
You know, or they'll change the person and then they'll keep putting that picture in and it'll turn them into a tree. It doesn't stay as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, because
That's
it'll keep modifying, right?
crazy.
So, this character, and she's like, she's so creepy and defined. Like you see her face, it's like,
It's very clear. Her
yeah.
eyes are super creepy. And then even when she's holding, you can't really tell. It looks like it's a chicken.
They did one with Kirby.
What's Kirby?
Kirby is that old school video game character,
Oh, yeah,
little
Kirby.
Kirby.
Yeah.
And it was like he would put it with Kirby, and then he would put it with Kirby, and he would put it with Kirby. Whatever the result was, he would put it again with like another picture of Kirby.
Yeah.
And Kirby's like this happy, smooshy little character.
Yeah.
And he showed this picture of like 10 degrees of Kirby, right? And it's still creepy. It's like super creepy. Like you can look that one up. That one's kind of crazy.
LOAB with Kirby.
Yeah, I would just like,
I know.
yeah.
This is terrifying. Okay. LOAB.
Yeah, it was that one. That's the one. And that's supposed to be with Kirby.
Okay. So remind me again how he made LOAB.
So LOAB,
Started as, which did she start as the
Marlon
opposite as?
Marlon Marlon Brando
Yeah.
The opposite of Marlon Brando was this picture of this
Castle thingy with
like
words.
castle with words.
Okay.
It was like a logo.
Yeah.
And then it asked, okay, so then it asked, okay, what is the opposite of this castle with this logo? And then LOAB showed up. Which the opposite should be Marlon Brando,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If
100%.
if you think logically, right? Because she's asking what's the opposite of Marlon Brando is this logo, so the opposite should be Marlon Brando,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
somehow
so weird.
Marlon Brando is connected to LOAB, which we don't really understand why, right?
Yeah.
And my mind goes down a rabbit hole there, you know what I mean? If it has access to everything in the deep web, you know what I mean? The dark web. Maybe
Oh my
some kind of
gosh.
crazy stuff was going on there. Now, I'm just
Yeah, we don't know. We're
speculating. I
speculating.
don't have any idea.
That's an interesting turn.
You know, because you never know.
What's on the deep web.
Yes. Yeah, you never really know what's going on. So the idea is that and then they took the picture of LOAB and they took a picture of heaven and merged them together, and then they got all the crazy stuff. Because the first picture of LOAB was like creepy, but it wasn't like doing anything. It was just there. She had the big old bags around her eyes, or whatever, and the big dark circles around her eyes.
Dang.
It's crazy, right?
That's so weird.
It's so weird. So I just thought it was one of those weird things that people want to know about that's currently going on, right?
Yeah. People are using AI filters to see ghosts. Yeah.
I
So
haven't seen that.
they'll like take a picture of a hall.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it'll pop up like a person. So it'll be like a cartoon version of the hall, a little different. Sometimes there's nothing, and then sometimes there's a person in it. And they're like, what if the AI can detect like there's something there, you know?
The different type of light.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean it goes with shapes, but sometimes you can tell like that shadow could be person-esque. So it's like, oh, I could see why it did that. But sometimes it's just perfectly just no shadows, just a hallway at a hospital.
And then you know the one thing I would say too is that you never can trust the level of greed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all these things can just be made up.
Yeah, people get excited about it, and then they're like, "Oh, this is what people are using it for. Let's tweak it to amplify that." Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so like people will do anything to get a click. You know what I mean? Literally anything. So, okay, let's go into some good news.
Okay.
So, Trump just had a huge rally in Waco. Did you hear about that?
I did. Waco, Texas.
And at the rally, he said something to the effect of, if we don't, if I don't destroy the deep state will destroy you. Whoa. The other thing that was crazy is that his his polls have skyrocketed ever since they talked about his possibility of him being arrested. And then I've heard people say that they're telling DeSantis, some of the major donors are telling DeSantis to step aside.
He needs to step aside.
Yeah.
It's not his time yet.
Yeah. And then Trump looks skinny. It looks like he lost weight.
Get it, Trump?
Yeah,
No
he
more
looks
McDonald's?
like it looked like he lost weight. Maybe no more Diet Coke and you know, it's so crazy.
I know.
I would die if I ate McDonald's every day. That just
sounds terrible. I regret it. It's like Taco Bell. I regret it every time.
Yeah.
I really want a Big Mac.
It's like you have it on your face. You're like, I just wanted to eat it, not put it on my face.
Not bathe in it.
Like I just feel all greasy.
Yeah, you feel greasy immediately.
And you feel like your arteries are slow. Right.
That's the sound. Sorry. Sorry, body.
Sorry.
Whoopsies.
Sorry, I'll fast for extra 2 hours tomorrow. Right.
I'll make it up to you, I swear.
So, all right. So that was just one of those things that's going on. I think Trump is hitting a stride, and my prediction is either they're going to assassinate him. I don't think they're going to arrest him anymore. And then I think if they're either going to assassinate him or he's going to win. And that's crazy. So the biggest thing is, who's his VP?
Carrie Lake.
Yeah, Carrie Lake would be a good pick because but I don't know a lot about Carrie Lake.
She's amazing.
I like her.
Yeah.
I like her. But it has to be like kind of like a known commodity,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
Perfect.
So we have to trust that this person won't crack under the pressure and that is not bought off.
Have you been seeing all the things she's been going through?
Yeah.
I follow her on Instagram.
Oh, you
she
do?
posts everything.
Really?
And she even came out recently and said that whoever they is.
Oh, she said they?
They.
Okay, she's in.
Yeah, she's in.
She said they.
They tried to pay her off recently. She's like, I can't be bought.
Tried to pay her off?
Yeah. Because she's going.
Isn't she a rich business person?
Yeah, but they're trying to stop her from continuing to fight because she's suing and winning.
She won one thing, I
Mhm.
forget, and it sent it back from the Supreme Court to the lower court.
Yeah.
Something I heard something about that.
Yeah. So it's looking good for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe next Thursday you can give us an update.
Yeah, I'll give you an
on
update.
her race. Maybe give us like a chronology.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And then you can say, okay, this is what we're going on now.
This is what's happening.
Okay.
Carrie Lake. I think she'd be fire.
Yeah.
She is so
if she wins
strong.
Like it would be great.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird though, because if she's able to take the governorship of Arizona,
then she probably won't be vice president.
We need her in Arizona. But if she doesn't take it, she'd be amazing. Because
Yeah.
there's so much bad stuff.
Would you think about moving to Arizona if she won?
No, I don't want to be too hot. We have a lot of family in Arizona.
You do?
All of Jacob's family is in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if Trump doesn't win, like we really have to think about moving.
I could do Arizona mountains. I don't.
I'm not saying
heat.
just Arizona. I'm just saying out of major metropolitan city.
It's gonna
You
get
know what I'm
real
saying?
eventually.
Shit's getting real.
And then I think
Coronavirus. What was that thing? You guys showed me some video of this girl making fun of these
Of Khloe
Kardashian girls.
Kardashian. This girl's amazing at it. And with Khloe, she always has super long nails. And that girl doesn't have long nails, the one that acts it out. So she cuts out Post-it strips and she puts them on her nail. And she's always like, oh my God, guys. I don't know. She's perfect at Khloe. It's so good. She'll do like this and it'll get stuck in her hair. It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, I could move.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying out of the city limits. I don't want to move.
No.
I don't trust Greg Abbott.
I don't trust Abbott either.
I trust so like if I could rank the trusting levels, there's that chick, I think it's North Carolina or South Carolina. She was like the first anti-vaccination lockdown lady governor. And then you have probably Carrie Lake. Then you had DeSantis. And then you probably have Greg Abbott.
With Abbott, it's weird to listen to him talk and then to compare that to his actions. So he has big talk about the border. That's one thing that I follow, his border stuff. And his action isn't there. And then knowing a lot of Border Patrol agents, people in Homeland Security, they say that we could do so much more, and he's not doing any of it. Why? What's the reason? And he'll bus people to, DC or wherever, New York, but he won't stop and push them back. And it's getting dangerous. Did you see that people tried to rush the border like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I saw that.
So dangerous. They pushed through the Mexico side and they rushed our side, and they had to deploy all of these different things like barbed wire and stuff. And the video, these people are angry. And it's men. The women are getting trampled and they're holding babies. It's like, be careful. And it's the entitlement. What do you think you're going to do when you get here?
Well, they've been lied to.
They have.
They've been lied to.
Talk about that again.
So I was last year, I was downtown around Christmas time. we went downtown and we gave a bunch of stuff to them because there was a bunch of people when
Yeah.
they let them over the border.
Yes.
There was just like blocks and blocks of people just laying on the streets.
Homeless because they're not from
Yeah,
here.
because they're not from
And
here.
it's winter. We had really, really, really cold weather.
Yeah, and
was
it's dry cold. It was different.
Yeah.
And people would die. So we took blankets and socks and jackets and food and stuff like that to these guys and girls. But I saw 99% were guys. I saw 3 girls, 4 girls.
And did all of those girls have kids?
One of them had a kid.
And with the guys, did any of them have kids?
No.
Okay.
And so, but one of the guys I was talking to, and he was like, he wanted a jacket, but we didn't have a size. And he wanted shoes, but we didn't have shoes. Because shoes are very specific.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, none of them had shoes. Like they were all like, they had like 10 socks on each. And they're walking around with socks, like
Shoes.
sock shoes.
That's
You know what I
so
mean? Which is kind of weird. And I asked him, I said, why are you so mad? Like, I'm over here giving you this stuff for free. Like, I don't owe you nothing, bro. But in Spanish. And the guy's like, well, you're the ones who put out those TV ads saying that if we get here, we'll be able to have a house, a car, a good job, and a warm meal. And I said,
what are you talking about?
what are you talking about?
Yes. Yeah. And he was from Colombia?
Yes, he was
Yeah.
from Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from Colombia. And
And
I was like,
heard that.
what in the hell?
Yeah. I've heard that
Mhm.
like all of the big groups that get together and start to come up,
Mhm.
there will be ads, there will be some kind of propaganda
Mhm.
going around telling these people you need to get here by this date. The
Mhm.
US is letting people come in.
Mhm.
And then they get here and it's not true. And
Mhm.
I've always heard that, but I've never had proof about it. So when you told me about your personal experience with that, I
Mhm.
was like, it's true.
Yeah, and then it's also the coyotes are making money on them.
Oh,
So it doesn't necessarily
cartel
have to
is-
be. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that American politicians are doing, which I'm not ruling out. It could be,
people think it's Soros.
but it could be Soros, right? That's
It's
obvious.
just a conspiracy theory. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Not
obvious.
suggesting that he did,
And
allegedly.
but the cartels could have been doing it just so they get more people to
Yeah.
join their little business of migrating people all the way
Yes.
through.
They've made billions
Yeah.
in the 2.5 years that Biden has been in office.
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah,
Because
which
people pay to get over.
all that stuff is run by the CIA. You know what I mean? And now they're saying that the cartel is making connections with the Chinese government.
I believe it.
You know what I mean?
I believe
And because if you're gonna try and invade America, which is the best, who do you need to know? You need those people that can get drugs across the border, right? So
like, just why would I remember having a conversation with a friend when it was time to vote for Trump. Yeah, and she was telling me we don't need a border wall. No, she's lived here all her life.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, walls don't work. We don't need a border wall. And I told her the history behind how we started putting up fences and different things. And
Mm-hmm.
like, obviously, like, how does it make sense that some kind of structure doesn't help at all? Yeah, you can get under it, you can get over it. But there's drones in the sky watching the border wall.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of different technology watching it. Like, they know when people get through, they're able to tell their border patrol agents, they're able to get them. And, like, I just don't understand the thought process of like, a wall's not important. How?
Mm-hmm.
Why? How does that make sense? That's just what people, like, they're just told that and they're like, yeah, we don't need one. I don't think.
That's so weird. But so long story short, I think that's what's going on with Trump's election. I think he's winning.
I pray for him that he's safe.
I don't see anybody else as a running mate for Trump.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who it could be.
Yeah.
Other than Kerry Lake. Like
Yeah.
who else?
I don't know.
Maybe that governor from North Carolina, South Carolina, whoever that lady is.
Maybe. Carrie Lake would be amazing.
Right?
She's so strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a fighter, and she's well spoken.
She is. She used to be a news anchor.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she puts her news anchor voice on. Hi guys, this is Carrie Lake.
yeah. Late night talks with Carrie
With
Lake
Carrie Lake.
against the New World Order. Okay, so next big thing that's going on right now. Have you heard of BRICS?
Yeah.
So BRICS, we have the whole Saudi Arabia thing, possibly joining BRICS.
Yeah, that happened this weekend, right?
Yeah. Now, BRICS currently has Brazil, China, South Africa, Russia, and Iran. Iran? Yeah, or India. India or Iran? I forget. And that, can you look it up? I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's India or Iran in BRICS. And the population of every BRICS country compared to the rest of the world is 41% of the population of the world's population
Oh,
right now.
whoa.
21% of the world's GDP,
Oh, wow.
right? So if Saudi Arabia joined, it would help a lot of the GDP, obviously, because Saudi Arabia makes a lot of money. And they own pretty much a big, substantial amount of oil. So if you think of Russia, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia, think of all the oil.
All of the oil.
All that oil would be controlled by these major companies together.
Okay, it says leaders of leaders of
hmm
Brazil, Russia, India, and China.
So it is India.
Mm-hmm.
Is Iran in there or no?
I feel like I heard about Iran. Let me Google that.
Okay. I know Iran doesn't like us either.
Iran applies to join China and Russia in BRICS Club.
Jeez.
That was in June 28th, 2022.
Wow. So they've got India and Iran.
China, South Africa.
Yeah, if they have India and Iran, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean,
It really is like it's just America and Europe
it says
against the rest of the world.
Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The European Union.
Mm-hmm. It's like NATO.
Yeah.
It's like NATO against the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised that India is in there. That's the one I'm most surprised because India doesn't like Iran and China, but they're there.
Well,
You know.
and I'm sure their location on the planet, like all kinds of different things are going into their decision.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? The biggest emerging country in the world is not China; it's India.
They just have so many people.
They have so many people. They got a lot of land.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there in the middle of everything, Asia and the Middle East.
Yeah.
They're real connected to the Suez Canal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Have you seen how the people are protesting in China?
yes.
They're very smart about it.
What are they doing?
They're I was watching this thing where they were talking about their tactics. They they've been getting them with pepper spray and different things. So they're wrapping their arm. I literally saved the video just to see smart tactics for the future if necessary. I mean,
Okay.
it's not going to be necessary, right?
Mm.
But smart stuff. They wrap their skin in saran wrap. It's cheap, easily accessible, and it protects their skin. They all are wearing helmets. They are using trash can lids. They move like Spartans in the movie. They move with umbrellas and these trash can lids to like not get hit by these sprays. Whenever the government throws these like spray to like stop them from being able to breathe easy,
Tear gas.
tear gas and stuff like that, they'll throw those and they put cones, like traffic cones, over it, and then they douse it in water. So it stops the gas from going everywhere and it puts it out eventually. So smart. And then they come in, they cause chaos, and then they move like water. I think the word is something water in Chinese. And so they come in, do what they're going to do. And then by the time
They're
the
like quoting Bruce Lee.
yeah, yeah.
I'd be like water,
Oh my
because
gosh.
Bruce Lee was Chinese.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time the cops show up, they're gone. They've dispersed, and they're spraying with spray paint all of the cameras because cameras are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing all kinds of different things to move quickly so the government can't tell who's who. They're causing the chaos that they want to. Not chaos.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing their thing. Also with bus passes, not bus passes.
Train.
Train.
Yeah, they have a big network of trains.
Huge network of trains, and they can tell who's on it and who's who.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are buying 1 day passes, like anonymous 1 day passes,
Mm-hmm.
and just leaving them everywhere so that people that are participating in this can grab one and get away quickly. Oh, and they use hand signals if they need water, if they need more saran wrap, whatever they need. And they're getting in lines.
Mm.
And so as they're doing things, one person will put their hand up like this for water,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next person behind them, and all the way down, and then they'll supply the water all the way up. So they're being really really smart about what they're doing.
Wow.
Very calculated.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a root for the Chinese people.
I know, and it's not the people like the Chinese government to me is evil.
Yeah.
And it's not the Chinese people;
Mm-hmm.
it's their government.
I think it's the same thing with us in America.
100%.
They probably think like we're the big evil America because we just go and kill everybody and drone strike them to death and overthrow governments and whatever. And then you meet like some person like Vanessa and she's like, I don't want to overthrow
Hi
anybody.
guys.
You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
like, I just want to have my chickens. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I want to do some what's that thing with the fish and the vegetables where
Oh, hydroponics.
hydroponics. She's like, I just want to start my hydroponics
A little bit
business.
of aquaponics, hydroponics.
Some type of
Smart.
ponics.
Yeah.
Some duckponics.
Duckponics. Quackponics.
It'll be quackerific.
It's
Yeah, so
such a good idea.
you see this Axis power starting.
Mm-hmm.
So
I almost wonder, is Russia a bad guy?
so Russia is that's my next thing is the
Oh,
Russian war.
okay,
So
perfect.
the Ukraine war. So obviously, me personally, I'm not against Russia or
Or for
or
Russia.
for
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of somewhat neutral. I get why they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you study the Warsaw Pact, NATO was never supposed to move further, and they weren't supposed to get new members, and all they've done is get in new members.
Mm-hmm.
And Russia's like, well, all right, well, you forced my hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And then even one of the things Putin was saying is that America has labs that are working on biochemical weapons near their border, and they don't want that. And America's like, we're not doing that. But then it came out that they are. And in Ukraine, really close to their border.
Yeah, and then they had all those medical facilities.
Mm-hmm. Not biomechanical, bioweapons.
Bioweapons. Yeah, they had all those medical facilities with bioweapons that they were testing all kinds of craziness.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that on my border either.
Yeah.
Especially
Fauci
with
did
the
it.
relationship. Mm-hmm.
Fire that fool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put him in jail.
There's this really great rap song. I'll have to show it to you. It's called "Dear Fauci,"
Mm.
and it's amazing the way that the guy, in the beginning, he talks about Fauci. At first you think somebody's talking about God, like it's a Christian song, and then you realize he's talking about Fauci and how people treated him in the beginning, like he was a god. It was ridiculous. It's so weird.
Yeah, no, I never liked Fauci. I was the first one to put it on my Facebook. It's because Ron Paul posted Fire Fauci, and then I shared it on my page. So, in the U.S., not the U.S. war, the war in Ukraine, Russia it's still Russia's war to lose, but the Ukraine has put up a lot of defenses, and it should have been over 6 months ago.
Mhm.
But we never thought that America would get so involved,
Mhm.
that all of Europe would get so involved, right?
Mhm.
And supplying them with, weapons and all this kinds of stuff. So we're super involved.
Mhm.
Europe's super involved. And Russia's super pissed off,
Yeah.
right? And it's about to get really hot because literally because the temperature is rising.
Yeah.
A lot of the war has stopped because of the cold, right? Like you
The weather.
can't do anything
Yeah.
over there. So when the weather warms up, Ukraine's gonna have another 60,000 troops. Now,
Their own troops?
yeah, supposedly. Russia has like a bajillion people that they can muster for their troops, But they're trying not to, from what I understand, they're trying not to just destroy everything because they want to take it over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're not just like carpet bombing the Ukraine.
Yeah.
They're like most of the oligarchy in Russia is born in the Ukraine.
Mm.
The Ukraine is kind of like the aristocracy of Russia. It's always been part of Russia.
Oh, wow.
So that's why it's so close to Moscow.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Did you hear Zelensky talking about how America will send her men to fight and they will die alongside us?
She's stupid.
Oh my gosh. He was like, "No, it's going to happen. They're coming. They're going to come and they're going to die like we've died." He literally said that. It was I watched and it could be a weird translation. I don't speak that language, but that's how they translated it.
Yeah, I ain't sending my kids.
Absolutely not.
Not to die for.
But I really feel like we're so much more involved in Ukraine than people realize, and we have been for a while. The the Bidens, you know how his son was on that energy board, and we have labs where we're doing stuff, and there's a lot of corruption there. And I think that we've been doing things there. The U.S. has been doing things there for a really long time, and there's more than we know on why we're doing all of this.
Yep,
There's
100%.
and we have all of these tanks and we have all of this stuff already moved over there. So I think it's a bigger play than what we see. It's like an iceberg. We only see the top. There's a whole lot more. We have no idea what the plan is.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's gonna be one of those things that we don't know what's gonna happen until it happens.
Yeah, it's.
I still
sad.
think it's Russia's war to lose. Obviously they have all their troops, they got all their power, they got everything right there. I just don't want it to go nuclear.
No.
So that's my thing. All right. Moving on. The last thing is, have you seen Elon Musk's outfit?
His Halloween outfit.
So if you go to,
it's his profile picture. Yeah, that was his Halloween outfit this year or this past year.
So if you go to it, right, you see this, right? But if you find that picture in Google and you go to Elon Musk's outfit, I didn't want to say it, but there it is. So this is what it looks like. You've seen it before?
I saw it on Halloween, like the day after Halloween.
Okay, so you've seen
I was like, because I've said this before on the podcast. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I like a lot of what I hear, but my heart's telling me he's a bad guy. But I don't want to believe it.
So if you look here in the center, there's like a goat's head, and then there's an upside down cross. What they call this outfit is a Baphomet outfit. he calls it his Baphomet outfit,
Yeah,
which I
because
never heard.
that's the goat head. Is the
Mm-hmm.
Baphomet.
Mm-hmm. And he spent like, I don't know, $60,000
Yeah,
on it or
because
something
it's like
stupid.
real leather. And isn't there pentagrams on like the belt?
I don't know.
There's pentagrams and different things.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Let me see.
and his mom's costume, it was kind of themed, but that's blatant.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it and you're like, oh, he just wore it for Halloween. And then I saw that he made that picture,
His profile
his
picture.
profile picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I mean, he's telling us. Are we listening?
Mm-hmm. Right? And his mom looked all
Oh
creepy,
my gosh.
you know.
He warned us about AI,
Mm-hmm.
but then continued to move forward with everything because everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe his warning wasn't a true warning. Maybe it was just that predictive programming telling us what's going to happen so that he doesn't have that bad karma or whatever. Maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
what it was. Because he was terrified when he talked about it, like listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we do not need to be doing this. I talked to all these world leaders. We shouldn't be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I believed him. I wonder if it was just kind of getting that karma off of his belt.
Right? So that just, it just makes it super creepy. This whole thing with Elon Musk and AI and where everything's going.
All the satellites that he's putting up in the sky
Yeah.
for internet
Mm-hmm.
or for a projection show of something in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So we will see, but that's the news for today.
Okay.
I think that there's definitely lots of things that are going on in the world right now, and I'm not sure exactly where it's all going to lead.
Mm-hmm.
I just know we're going down. I know Fed coins coming out, more banks are closing. We don't know where that's going to end,
Mm-hmm.
but um, we will find out soon.
Yeah.
We
And
will
people
find
are
out soon.
predicting very soon, like April 1st, was some of the things people have been saying. I don't know how I feel about any of it. I don't know.
With the Fed coin?
With banks, Fed
Oh,
coin,
yeah.
like all of that, like
It will happen faster than it's ever happened before because of social media.
yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
happen faster than it's ever happened before.
And they say it's going to happen on Friday.
Mm.
So I just get water, be ready.
Oh, they say it's gonna happen this Friday?
No, on a Friday.
Oh, so it'll like go over the weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
You won't have time to go get your money out.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
So just be ready as much as possible. I almost want to on my social media do like a prepping challenge, like every week to kind of show people like, okay, this week, because it seems overwhelming, but you can do little things to get your
Mm-hmm.
family ready-ish,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's all gonna hit the fan tomorrow, like or in a
You gotta
month.
have something to
You
do.
have to have something ready.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was talking to somebody and they were all worried and anxious and stressed out, and I told them, I said, know this is that when you're in the forest and you come across a bear, you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the guy next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
just have to have that little bit more
yeah.
than your neighbor, and then you're, Walking Dead, the Rick and
Mm-hmm.
who's the guy with the motorcycle?
Oh, Daryl?
Daryl. Yeah, you could be Daryl and Rick. You know what I mean?
Coral.
Yeah, and you just have to survive
Yeah.
past, like a couple of the waves of people dying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you get past that, then you'll survive.
I follow different preppers, and one person was suggesting Bibles for your prep stuff.
Mm.
Um, and they were saying that they strongly felt like they're not prepping for themselves.
Mm.
They're eventually some of their prep is going to go towards the people that get left on the planet, and having Bibles for them would be a good thing.
Mm.
Because you know how like Rapture, I'm not saying that that's going to happen now, but it was an interesting thought. So I put one of our like older Bibles that we don't read. And you have your favorite Bibles, you know, and I put one of those in our ammo container.
It's funny to think about that. Like,
Yeah, like who are you prepping for?
mhm,
You think it's you, but
yeah,
my family will be ready ish.
yeah, because we don't know, you know, if the pre-tribulation rapture is going to happen, or if we're going to go through a lot of stuff and then the rapture is going to
That's what
happen.
I think.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah. There's too much in the Bible talking about going through trials and tribulation and the great tribulation and what to do during the great tribulation. So it's better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to be prepared than not prepared at all.
Oh yeah, and so many people.
Especially because we have kids.
Yes, yeah. So many people quote the Bible, um, verses that we've talked about recently about how, like, just like I'll feed you today. What is that verse? I forget.
Oh, give us this day our daily
Yeah,
bread.
yeah, our
Yeah.
daily bread. Like focus
The
on
Lord's
today.
Prayer.
Yes, the Lord will take care of the other days. And so many people are like, don't prepare. You're going to be fine. God will provide for you. And I get that, but I'm preparing. Even just water. Like if you can just provide water for yourself. There's so many like that city that they were told that there was 2 million liters of um, liquid radioactive waste, and they can't drink their city water anymore. So everybody went and bought all the water. There's no more water. You know, like people that are prepped, they didn't even have to go out and fight for water because they're prepped.
Yeah.
For a while. You know, I don't know. You just got to be ready.
It's funny to think about all that stuff, like the little things, like water.
Everything we take for granted. Go camping and you will realize all the things that you need. Or turn off your water at your house and live there for a day and realize that we had a leak in our old house. We had to turn off the water, and how many times I go to wash my hands, how many times I go to do little things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have water. Oh yeah, I don't have water. You know, like we're just so blessed to have it quick and easy, and when you don't have it,
it's true. We are spoiled. You know,
and we waste so much compared to what you really need to use. Brushing your teeth, I had a water bottle right next to the sink, and I'd like barely wet the toothbrush. You know, normally I'd turn on the faucet, eventually get there, then turn it off, you know, just to start brushing my teeth. Like, just all the waste that we use. Not that it's bad or anything, but it's just interesting to notice.
Yeah, you know, like using the restroom, you can yellow, let it mellow, right? That's the thing where you don't have to flush it every time you
If
pee
it's
in the
yellow, let
unit.
it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
That's what it is.
And then the amount of water you use to flush toilets is crazy. Because when we didn't have the water, we filled up the bathtub next to one of the bathrooms, and we used a bucket to, after we'd go to the bathroom, we'd flush it with the bucket. So you just put a bunch of water down and it'll flush. So much water. And have to go back sometimes and do it again because it didn't flush all the way. Like, oh my gosh. Just like these conveniences you don't think about.
Yeah, you really don't. You know, we're so spoiled, and then we flush our toilets with clean water. Yeah, where the rest of the world they use dirty water.
Yeah.
And then they only drink like specific type of water.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
clean water is such an issue.
Yeah.
It's
huge.
such an issue. We have brackish water here in like my neighbor. He drilled a well for like 300 feet down or something.
Ooh, he went deep, deep.
And he says still brackish.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
He's like, that's as deep as it can go. You know.
Yeah.
I guess you can go 1,000 feet or whatever, but.
I wonder where our water. I know how high our water table is. I wonder how low it goes here. Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, but he's like, nah, I'm not gonna go any deeper.
No. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a way to clean out brackish water.
What is brackish?
Salt.
Oh.
Salt.
We have a lot of minerals in our water. Got it.
I wonder what you could do with brackish water. I guess you could evaporate it.
Distill?
Yeah, you could distill your water. You could do it like you're doing like alcohol, right?
Does your Berkey take all that out?
I don't know. I don't
I
know
mean, I'm
if Berkey.
assuming.
I'm sure it will. If it's just minerals, you know, I'm sure I could drink it.
Yeah, but it does mess up stuff like the minerals.
It'll mess up
clogs
piping.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not supposed to use metal. You're supposed to use plastic.
Oh, because it'll
eat the metal.
interact with the metal. Okay.
Yeah, it'll eat the metal.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's it for today, guys.
Awesome.
So it's kind of like a news update.
Yeah, all the things going on. Gotta stay up on.
All right, guys. I hope you liked today. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends.
Yes.
Watch out for creepy LOABs and be careful what you search on AI.
On the internet.
Yeah, don't tell me that I told you to go look at it.
No, don't. Not that creepy stuff.
She's a creeper.
She's creepy enough.
She's a creeper. Hide your children.
Hide your wife. Bye, guys.
Bye.